What's up, guys, and welcome back to yet another absolute banger. You indeed read the title correctly, because today we're going to be talking about how eating spicy foods makes you just a little high. To first sort of understand what I'm talking about, let's look at something on the milder side. Enter black pepper. It has this little chemical called piperine, and the interesting thing about piperine is that it's what we call an irritant, which means it kind of pisses off everything it touches when consumed. Think of it like when there's a bee inside of your classroom, and everyone starts acting like there's a serial killer on loose. That's the effect it has. Okay, the molecule called piperine irritates things around it. Cool, whatever. But the funny thing is, when you eat it, piperine specifically decides to bond to nerve receptors called TRPV1. The entire point of TRPV1 is to warn the brain about stuff like acid and heat burns. So as you can predict, these receptors begin to signal to the brain that your mouth is extremely hot, because that damn piperine won't stop aggravating it. So even though nothing about the black pepper is thermally hot, we interpret it that way because the receptors involved. Chili peppers also have an irritant that likes to bother TRPV1. It's called capsaicin. The funny thing is, however, that capsaicin is about 100 times stronger than piperine. So you can imagine why some people get a little geeked while eating something spicy. Like I said, your brain kind of freaks out when you eat something super spicy because the TRPV1 receptors are getting overwhelmed and your mind thinks your mouth is like literally on fire. So to cope with this painful experience, your brain decides to send out a bunch of pain relievers called endorphins. They work basically as opioids and calm you down and relieve some of the pain. But just like opioids, they're addictive, and we love feeling full of them. This explains why you still like eating spicy foods after your mind literally thought your mouth was full of acid. That subtle feeling you get is just so addicting that we want more of it. This also explains why we have and can build spice tolerances. We just try to keep reaching that lovely yet traumatic high every time, just like some other substances. Of course, it isn't like super addicting, and most of the time you can't even notice this opioid-like effect. But it's still there, whether you notice it or not. Alright, after all the interesting stuff you just learned, you might be wondering how I even know this. It wasn't from a Google search, and definitely not school, but rather reading. This book, 8 Flavors by Sarah Lohman, is where I got 100% of my information for this video. On top of that, it is also just an amazing book in general. She tells a super interesting story of 8 flavors that shaped American cuisine. Black pepper, vanilla, chili powder, which is where I got the information for this video, curry powder, soy sauce, garlic, MSG, and sriracha. So go check it out, because it's super cool. Alright, if you like, I don't know, interesting stuff, I'll see you in the next one.